Welcome to a journey of spices, excitement, experiences, and stories of good flavor meeting great vegetables and fruits right here on AUMcuisine. Namaste and welcome to another episode of AUMcuisine, authentic, universal, meditative. I'm going to be making you a quinoa pilaf today, or it's called Pilaf in some cultures, but we call it pulao in North India, and this is just beautiful. So we have a little hot pan going on, and it's a really lovely spiced version. I like to put some avocado oil for this recipe because there is so much flavor happening with other things. So I'm going to be putting in some cumin seeds, and as they splatter, I'm going to add some onions. The order for this recipe, like I always say, is supremely important. And then I'm going to be adding in a few cloves, maybe about 4 to 6 cloves is more than sufficient. The onions and the cumin and the cloves give a really lovely aroma, like right now, without even anything commencing. And then I'm going to be adding in some bay leaves. We call them tej pata. There are different types of bay leaves available, but since I live in California and I get my bay leaves from like Santa Cruz, almost in our backyard. So that's what happens there with a lot of lovely fuming. And then I'm going to be putting in a pinch of coriander seeds. Very, very important for this recipe. And then some shredded ginger and some minced garlic. Smells fantastic here. We need to get YouTube to make us smell. I don't know how we'll do that though, but who knows? Okay, I'm going to be putting in some chili flakes, and then I'm going to be adding quinoa that's already been made. It's almost as simple as that. However, there's a little trick that we have to do in a few minutes. Once all that is getting to know each other, what I'm going to do is reduce the flame to about the midpoint, and then in a little mortar and pestle, I'm going to be putting in some star anise and 2 big cloves of black cardamom. So just break it up for some real intense flavor, just for it to be released. So good, so wonderful, and so good. And then I'm going to be adding in some cilantro leaves, which are fresh. So you want to do fresh cilantro leaves. And then I want to be putting in some dried methi leaves, which are fenugreek leaves. Fenugreek leaves are kind of, kind of bitter. But with this recipe, it just works, don't know why, completely magical and extremely tasty. So then, to this, I have some saffron, gold, in some beautiful hot water, suspended. Just going to add that for some color and remarkably good flavor. Beautiful. Smells perfect, just perfect. I'm going to be putting in some salt to taste, and when we come back, we'll plate up. Welcome back, and it's time to plate up. So I like a round form, and I'm a big fan of single colored plates. I don't often think there is a requirement for everybody on the table to have the same colored plate. You know, it depends on what I'm really serving them. But I use a little spoon into my form when I want to get more of the quinoa into place, which is supremely important. Love it. Beautiful. And you know what? Don't be afraid of, the quinoa that's falling off on the sides. It kind of really adds to the form. beautifully, you know, and we can do beautiful things with it. So just be careful about one thing. You want everything to be tightly compressed so the form really holds. That's all it is. Don't worry about anything else. So very carefully, because this is stainless steel, you want to move that very gently. Do not scald your hand. So I'm going to be putting in some cilantro right on it. And we just got out this recipe a few days ago, so I'm going to put this on the side to taste, because that way when you see what this is, it'll be so familiar to you and you'll know that we've already edited the recipe. So there you go. So just want lots of design and dimension to it, so it just looks like a beautiful art piece. There I go. So I'm going to get myself a little here and not disturb this and do a little taste test. So I have the gravy and I have the quinoa. So you know what's lovely about this? What we're really tasting with the pulao is the spices, and it's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And there is no need for having rice, because the flavors of the spices are so intense. It pairs beautifully with this gravy. I'd love to hear from you. Tell me how this experiment went in your home with a lovely, tasteful, filled with memory, flavor explosion. Until we see you in another episode of AUMcuisine, this is Priyanka.